Right, very good evening and welcome to the Podium Show every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight as we preview and review the world of motorsport on the local scene, African scene, as well as on the international scene on this 20th day of May 2024. Only hoping that everything has shifted your way. From the last time we did run this show, I was just to go abakozi nemufuna birungi tubaza katonda tumusabe atuseko nebirungi ebirakuba byote bigwa then abachafunya obuzibu. Better suit tumusabe atufunye ku solutions obatemere ku mpenda tubisomoko obuzibu so that we can live a better life. The Podium ku Fufa TV ne ku 102.1 for Farmer every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight. We do preview and review all the latest in the world of motorsport, and you too can be part of this show every single Monday, joining us on our various social media platforms. Ku X, ku Instagram, of course, program eno ku live muso kubanga mugenda ku Fufa Media app mu Play Store ne mu Apple Store. Nemu downloading a Fufa Media app muso kubanga mulaba Fufa TV as well as no kuliza 102.1 Fufa Farmers under the Fufa Media Services. Zekesh, on this 20th day of May 2024, we have a lot regarding the world of sports on the local scene. Our very own Mayweather Chilumira, Baman Vidinzenga Stanvik International Ambassador. We were there to catch up the events, we definitely bring up to speed. Then event here, part of Africa, Leoyagwa, while issues to do with the review of that event. On the 20th day of May 2024, to what day tujakola review so dokubanga etamba good enough kuri yoneri wano bona abadde wali kuchopa chumne lugogo ne balaba proceedings. We definitely digest a lot regarding that. Of course, Article 65.2.3 of the National Competition Rules, you get a right to review or reviewing regarding the results of the event. So then on the international scene, Wade Formula 1 wali Italy mu Imola webadde marking 30 years of Ayrton Senna okuva yava mu bulambu ense nalabye Sebastian Vettel ng'avuga emotoka eyo. Then of course ne Mercedes baweza race yawe y'ebisatu mu career, rather ever since they started competing mu Formula 1. That was a milestone for them. Then of course another milestone for Ferrari as well, another milestone for McLaren as well. Then we'll talk about that. Then of course one over the weekend, the first round of the National Karting Championship again okubera ali ku Miraki karting track wali ebugolobi. Initially ino okubera Luwawa mutino omukulu wano vice president wa Formula 1 Association of Uganda ayakubatule why the change of venues ahead of the first round again okubera over the weekend, which is upon us from the 25th of this very month, 24 May 2024. Kale nze kesho manza program eno nja kusaba Aaron ne Albert baberenga babuzaako. I've had really very good sporting week. Twava last week nga tuina the climax of the Times Uganda Premier League. 4 teams were vying for the title, and kyagenza okukomekerezebwanga Sports Club Village Salongo. The record time 17 champions. Prior to them winning this one, they had the 16th time. The last one, the title in 2004, and a Serbian coach, Bazemo Chikola. Another after 20 years with another Serbian coach. But kudos to Vida. But hard luck to Vipers, hard luck to Chitara debutants league, as well as hard luck to Nebul. Nabawa Deba Vainga for because Twagans are going to champion the last day. That was on Saturday. All the 4 teams could win the title. All the 3 teams, that was Vipers, Chitara ne Vipers, Chitara ne Bull. Fate tell mikono jao. It was only Vida that had fate in their hands. Baina kola because kuba bukubi neck, and who are debutants in the league. That is the business arm of the UPDF. Baina team with one neck. Baina kuba bukubi UPDF. Baina kuba bukubi rather neck. They are crown champions, and they did it. Though goals are beat late, half time 0-0. Second half, Villa fans were beat on 10 hooks, but finally they did it and won their 17th title Ugandan footballing history. Then of course the FIFA Women's Super League nayo egena kuba going down to the wire this weekend as 2 teams can win the league. That is Kawempe Muslim Ladies Football Club as well as Kampala Queens. The money bags now bali difference ya point yemo nabo bali mbibalo, but all Kawempe needs is a draw. All Kampala Queens needs is to win, beat up on Kawempe, and they will be champions for the second time. They are versing each other. The first leg Yagwa 2-0 in favor of Kawempe. Then of course ne legendary Fred Kajoba Kisetu yazikidwe Mtiana abaddeyo the footballing fraternity and the entire country at large. You can only pray to the mighty God that it does comfort the family and the entire country at large for the after the demise of Fred Kisetu Kajoba, formerly goalkeeping coach of the Uganda Cranes, one of those long-serving personalities at the national team. Yes, goalkeeper marketing board, the Pepsi, coaching the Bright Stars, Yawangula Vipers, Chikopo 2020, 2021.
Coach.
Yes, as the coach. So we can only pray the Almighty God that He grants him eternal resting peace. Kali, makanika wiki yon Albert, then we pick it up from there.
Abatulaba mwenaku 102 Fufa TV na abatuliza ku 102.1 Fufa FM. Buli kaseera nga nze okogera nti liba kisanyo gerere butufisaawo akadde ne tujja ntubera ku peoza Fufa Media Services nga twogera ku muzanyo tusinga okwagala kumbukaze mpaka tusiima bongera management ya Fufa Media Services otuwa akakisa kano tusobola okwogera ku muzanyo tusinga okwagala nga ffe ogumutakaze mpaka soko okuyozayoza bonna abafunye essanyu kaseera kano tuyiseemu emabega naye ate era nenakuwalira wamu nammwe abafunye obuzibu kitalo nnyo ddala ekya Fred Kajoba mukama amuwa ekimuzi ekyemirembe ate era n'abo abaala bafunye ebizibu mukama abasibe nnyo abagumye kaseera kano kemuyitako akabuzibu wikendi yange oba wiiki yange tebadde mbi nnyo omuzannyo gw'emmotoka z'empaka ne emizannyo gyonna kutwalira wamu Bungereza omukwano gwange Albert nange ndoza tebyatambulidde bulungi eggulo kikopo kyatuyise mu ngalo ya ndoza account yabadde ennungi performance abana gyataddewo omwaka gwonna naye mukama Katonda kyemmanyi abali willing musomesa yagambye kasita baata nkukkiriza ne babeera mu believe ne bakkiriza kuba patient kijja kutuuka era kijja kutuuka kituuke. So byonna byabaddewo naye omuzannyo gwaffe gw'emmotoka paka wiiki tebadde mbi ate era n'olwaleero byonna ebisobodde okutambula ne bigenda mu maaso ku zimu ku results ezivulayo okujja oluvannyuma lwa Power of Africa Uganda Rally bivuddeyo mukama Katonda tubigwerabiza.
Okay, one of the, of course, it's to form a topical discussion for today about the fall of the review. Being open, it's one of those ones I've listed. The first time I'm attending a review, and it's very open, number of deliberations, and one of the things that caught my eye are the remarks of the attendees of the review that they appreciated the stewards for having made it an open forum, a lot to learn, and we can always pick up going forward for the betterment of this podcast. I'll be your week, and how have you been?
Abatuuliza n'abatulaba ku Fufa TV ne Fufa Radio tubeebaza okutuwabudde buno. Week yatambudde bulungi ku side yange kujjako of course weekend twafunyemu essanyu mu Formula 1. It has been a long time okubeera nga Max afunamu kyebayita a last 5-6 laps of tension, which was quite interesting on that one. Twafunyemu essanyu awo Formula 1 Association in Uganda twina wetulabira Formula 1 tugiyita race viewing ye product yaffe ebadde ku Icon bar and restaurant eri awo Lugogo. Member of Formula 1, you get a drink, a meal, and you're able to watch the Formula 1 race with full sound. So the last 5-6 laps of that race, seeing over Deo and Rosa Arsenal Samba Manu, it was quite exciting, and our sponsors were very excited about the excitement of the game. Wetudda ku championship ya Uganda kyabadde kirungi nnyo okulaba in terms of the football league coming to a close under such a tight okubanga teams ennya zigenda kufuna balina possibility okuwangula era it was a joy okuwulira nti Villa yasobodde okuyita kubanga that name has been in football in Uganda for a very long time ate badde baludde okutwala kikopo nzijukira nti ne express yakikolako nga erudde nayo nekola ki nejja netwala ekikopo, so that was good. Era kirungi nnyo okuwulira nti the ladies team ekyo nakyo kituuse ku position nti it's the last game of the season yetwala title. It makes the whole thing much more exciting. Era abanalaba omupiira ogwo, I'm sure they will be excited by the outcome. Motorsport, of course, well, Musaidia Motorsport okubanga weekend we had a good race in Italy. Olwaleero twafunye opportunity okuba mu proceedings as a review. Personally, nabadde ngenzeyo to observe and okulaba the process as it goes. Nga mwami Bukenya ne Aaron bagambye, it was very good that it was an open process. Era hearings eza FMU for the next few years singa baziteekawo in an open process ejja tusoboza okufunamu satisfaction abantu okuwulira nti ekintu kyange bakiteesako ate bakiteesako mu bulungi oba nze nawangula oba oli yawangula naye nga in all fairness nabadde nina opportunity okuteekako ebigambo byange. Unlike other hearings that we have heard of and we know of, which are held in closed conference, results don't come out, people don't get justice, and other people remain unhappy and angry for a long time because they don't see the outcome of their petitions or appeals or anything. So, eno modo empia, we have a sort adopting case we are ready, we hear it, we close it, and we move forward. It's very good for everybody to have peace of mind.
All right, we definitely talk about the review, which will definitely dominate today's program. But of course, you can treat yourself with some of the pictorials of the latest motorsporting happenings, the past and the present. Back screens are facing, this one or this one. So we're treating yourself with the latest motorsporting happenings, or even the past, because that slide shows you the current and the past happenings of motorsport in form of picture forms. Okay, Kali, we kick it off with, of course, Villa being crowned champions. Wagira Villa.
Okay.
They deserve the bragging rights. 17 titles, it is a huge achievement, huge task for the clubs. Kubanga bafunza that gap. We wait to see. I've just seen you are signing Alexis Savide. Unaisa Savide. Tumaino kwata wagenda walanyo na ye. Got it. We kick it off with the proceedings on the international scene to trickle down on the review, which will formulate, which will even have a chance of reading Article 65.2.3 of the National Competition Rules, Article 14.1.1 of the International Sporting Code, which talks about the review. And because results Zapal, there have been mixed feelings about the results, but finally today, I think with this imposing on Abidayo the appeal basing on this, of course people have the right to appeal and everything. Then watch and I think even the DVP just could this ruling I think they come up with another form of results, then to fune table standings after NRC 3 out of the 7 is the championship year 2024. Kali, we kick it off with the Formula 1 event here wali Italy Mola, and there are a number of things that made this event. Of course, I managed to watch the race 63 laps. I concur with you until Max Avade Arudo kufuna that challenge towards the end of the race, or in fact in most cases towards the end of the race. Nga jiafunye in the Orlando jiamutadeko wa McLaren. It gets down to how, because Lando yawangula the last event, which was in Miami. And a very good friend of Max Verstappen. And another reaction, I think grid of the 20 drivers on the grid, of the 19, okay, is Max's best friend. If you could see the comments, Max Yakola, yeah, it was Lando, it was always coming, So not surprised nti Chazze indeed charge Miami and well deservedly. But Max was on pole in this race, though he wasn't performing well in practice, because there's a time he practice, but he managed to be on pole. And then he came out of Najana Domina, very good start from him. And finally, towards the tail end of the race, we have the issues in Mpiraje, because I had him complaining I think the front left tire, Gamba grip Burunji, which somehow Chamuko because if you had two more laps to go, I think Lando and Chikola, but out of experience, out of everything, Max held on and he won that race. Now, the question was, if it was Lando in the same situation as Max, and Max was in Lando's shoes, would Lando have held on to Max Verstappen? Would Lando have held on to Max? Because Max has a seniority in there, coming down under lots of pressure, because team ready by communicating, is getting closer to you. Because initially there's a time which had 5 seconds, Neda ku 4, Neda ku 3, Neda ku 2. At the time you race, you only had one DRS. Only one DRS zone. So you had in a course of that chance. By the time you are getting under a minute, or rather under a second, because that's when the DRS will call it out. Chili too late, because you need at least one more lap maybe. There's a time one question is about Mukona, that race had 19 tons. So one question is about turn 19. The guy was overtaking it out, but Max held on and he won the race. Okay, let's go in for a short commercial break to come out. Tugere ku byadde Italy weekend bagenda Monaco street race, then ujja kudana Kampala tugere ku bya review katukomewo. All right, we'll be back from that short commercial break. It's the Podium Show every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight as we preview and review and in the world of motorsport on both 102.1 Fufa Farmer and Fufa TV, the home of Ugandan sports, and under the Fufa Media Services. So, our program in Ojiraba, app, it was Fufa Media app. Then, of course, you download the Play Store, Apple Store, definitely be able to watch this program as well as listening to this program as well as other subsequent programs. There's Fufa TV. 102.1 Fufa Farmer, wherever you are, as long as you have internet, Fufa FM ne unola Fufa TV, the home of Ugandan sport. In the case, na ero ne Albert prior to that, we're going to win a hard 4 win for Max Verstappen, and to me, he deserved it. Though driver of the day, Lando Norris, race winner Max Verstappen. And the Red Bull anthem yazanyidwa and the Dutch anthem yazanyidwa, and it's a bit early days, but Max seems to be the man on the verge of yet winning a title.
Yeah, the wotuna race eyo one race yabadde inamu some sentiments okubanga eyo track gye twafirwa omuvuzi omulungi ennyo, and baali bagezako okurememberinga the day ne tutandika with the car which he was involved in an accident with, that is Senna, was driven by one of the competitors. Then wetwamala ne tugenda into the race itself, abasajja ba Ferrari ne bagezaako wetwatandikira event nga we felt at the start that Ferrari probably Leclerc ne mukulu Sainz banditaddewo some kind of competition, naye wetwagenze okutuuka in the middle of the race nga omukulu Verstappen agenze kubanga yatuuka ku point nga leading a race almost close to 6 seconds. Then Lando Norris nga is next, ate nga Lando ne Leclerc waliyo race yaliwaawo somewhere in the middle of the race nga Leclerc closing in, but then again when we bagenze ne bakyusa emipiira awo abakulu ba Ferrari emboozi eyo ne tugivaamu. Kati bwe tuconcentratinga ku the two, nze kyenalaba nti the Red Bull gundi Verstappen yafuna some challenges with the tires towards the end, ne opening up an opportunity for Lando to close in. Era Lando womulaba bagamba nti maturity in racing is normally displayed by a competitor in the time of pressure. Wanga nze when twalabye all of a sudden Verstappen atandise ku losing a time ne tutandika abantu batandika okuba ngalo zigenze mu 3 seconds zigenze mu 2 ziyingidde 1 kati bwe zayingidde 1 omuvubuka gundi Lando n'atandika okuyongerako to try to catch up. But I believe after Verstappen understanding his problem, he actually slowed down to save a bit of his tires. N'amanya nti nina ekizibu kino, can slowing it down, then towards the end I'll pick up pace again and I block this guy from coming. So yakozesa maturity. Naye kati omuvubuka ye yalaba the opportunity, and being young and of course the opportunity was there, ye najja. Kati waliyo points ze yali akola mu mistakes coming out of the corners and he was crisscrossing na losing a seconds. Awo gundi n'asobola okukola ki okudisappearinga. Kati we twatuse ku, I think it was the third lap to the end, around lap 59 there. Omukulu n'atandika again. He started catching up because Lando had brought him almost into DRS zone. Kati omukulu we tuse ku lap 59 ye n'atandika going back to his pace. Eventually netulaba gundi ngakoze ki ng'agendedde ddala. Then towards of course the end, that was the end of it, nga omukulu awangudde. So nze kyendowooza the Verstappen used his experience na omwana namugjayo, but Lando is there and he is now what we consider to be a possible fight that Verstappen can have. Wotundira times za Perez abadde avuga motoka ye mu Red Bull emabege ng'olabira ddala the win is because of the man seated in the car. Kubanga Perez eyo abadde tasobola okuleeta any of the times that Verstappen was doing. Era eri mabega yamaze n'ayisaako ku bantu, but still you would have expected him to be up front. Mu Formula 1 tosobola kumala Formula 1 nga toyogedde ku of course Lewis Hamilton. Wali mu Formula 1 nze ndi wa Ferrari era tusanyuse nnyo byonna ebituukawo ku musajja waffe essaawa zino Lewis Hamilton kubanga next twasasudde dda tetulina buzibu. Bano abasajja basazeewo bamuwe emmotoka nkyamu buli lunaku, ffe tetulina buzibu. Etuyamba okufuna competitor ngali hungry for a win. So tumulabye yabadde agezaako okukolaawo naye nga as usual yavuddeko at some point n'agamba emmotoka tekola byekola. So ffe mu the Ferrari camp tumugamba tofaayo mukulu, emmotoka ogirengera tuli awo mu top grid era twabadde ku podium tugezaako gitereeza wonootuukira otandikira okukuba bukubi basajja.
Nalaba mu the because of that was last Thursday. Forbes yafulumya the list of highest paid athletes. Motorsport yalinamu mu top 20 twalinamu that was Max Verstappen, $81 million. Yeah, he was 17th. Okusinziira ku Forbes.
But
Motorsport. Era leading guy is Ronaldo, $260 million. Then ndaba Messi $135 million. Max $81 million. Then Hamilton aina $69 million. That is the net worth. $61 million. Yali mu kifo kyabe mu kimu. So
those are next year to Max gundi ayinza omuyisa Lewis. Because of his pay on this side.
Yeah, because of maybe.
Wagana more 100 million, I believe.
Yeah, 100 million. Nenga ye abali kufa TV design.
Ekituufu ye. Nze kyemmanyi ye Lewis yatandise okudesigninga ebirala nyo tutageragera na kutegeera. Kati Steward mwezo design munanga mu emisindo.
Your design but it is the best those are could grid. Ye driver singa okay, because he's into fashion, maybe chobolanga zivayo nnyo. One of the things that makes news in events, ayambadde kirero atuwadde kirero, and if you look at the way he was dressed in Miami, completely different from the way he was dressed in Imola. It's going to be completely different from the way he's going to dress in Monaco. So Monaco weekend, yeah, you know, it's our kumi, so tuja kubayo nnyo. We'll definitely bring you up to. But these are inspirational figures. Okubantu you know muntu ali mu sport ali worth $81 million. That's a lot of money. Then on the same event, Albert ayogeddeko balklava bali kufufa TV n'abavuzi abo mulaba Etonson ali mu Brazil, so kweyo track nyini kwe yafiira 30 years ago. So ba drivers baade bamujjukira. Sebastian Vettel yavuze mu motoka eyo nga amujjukira. Then bamba helmets zaabwe muzira Etonson yasooka kubanga ava mu bulamu bw'ensi. So helmets zabaddeko yellow. Then the Brazilian flag. Then Vettel yalidinze that drive. Then ne balclavas zabakozeseza. Then there was a guard of honor for him. We can only pray to the Almighty God that he keeps resting his soul in eternal peace. Olwokuba nti grid eyo, I think the last driver yava mu bulamu bw'ensi eno yali Jules Bianchi mu race yali Japan and Suzuka. And at that incident, the family thought of suing F1, of course, maybe that. But ever since that incident, there were safety upgrades that were made kumoto kezo, so that it provides more protection to the drivers than never before. Of course, Bianchi yavako nakuwa barriers ebyo, and he lost his life. Of course, not ku track, but bamudusa mu ddwaliro. After some time, he was later on pronounced dead. So we can also say to the Almighty God until he does grant his soul rest in eternal peace.
Anyway, in terms of okulaba safety eyo bakoze yalimu, I think it was 2023 or 2022 wetwafuna competitor yafuna accident emotoka nekwata omuliro navamu. There was a very huge impact on the wall. Kati eyo safety cage gye bateekawo, first of all yamuwonya internally in the car. Naye the whole car burst out in flames. Nayenga with the internal wear jabadde ne uniform ne helmet, he actually jumped out of the car. He's on fire, but bajjako with extinguishers, and as we speak today, wali atambula. So it shows the how far they have come.
In safety gundiyo that provision yali baji after the demise of Senna. It reminds me of because family agenda okuddamu okulowooza ku ebyo after some time I think they were grieving abagala kiberenge kibalingi bagamba they couldn't stomach it. It reminds me of the case which we are following up to the mu UK court ye UK ogwa Philippe Massa gwe yateekayo against championship ya Hamilton ya 27 mu McLaren yagwera Interlagos in Brazil. So we're keeping an eye on the proceedings. But because of logistical issues, you would really want to be in court and listening to the arguments. Teams hesitate. Massa, you can't overturning a decision. They don't bad the common review and inform feel. Okay, away from that, back to Ewaka. Our very own Edward Chirumira Mayweather. Yalandin's worth mentioned by on this show. Yalandin's all along he's been branding his car with logos Starbucks. This time round he was unveiled as an brand ambassador, and it coincided with the opening of one of their branches in Namungona. So Edward Chirumira surely ayachikubye, we can't wait. Nalabye DVP Joshua Mayanja, President wa MPU Dr. Bogere, Daniel Bogere, then ndabone Assistant General Secretary wa FMU yajano opposite Jackson Serwanga, yes, and they all gave speeches. But what they all craving for the company to buy Chirumira a better car and probably it can compete much better in Enga for at least baby steps. He's an ambassador, and it's a huge plus, and it's I think the way to go for sport. Aaron, if you have such brands coming to support the sport.
I think like organization and motorsport chase marketing team motorsport meaning more especially for UGANDA and but the returns what gains it to be titine zetuleka mu fonge ebyo so abantu abaina ku social corporate responsibilities companies zigeze zinene zina budgets for that things those are giving back to motorsport obo owininze mirundi ebiri you'll be sure you'll get the mileage you so much require and ekirala ti at the end of the day teaming up with the sport egenda okutambula mu bifo ebisinga obungi mu Uganda so to congratulating Kojja wange Kirumira olw'okufuna sponsor ng'aba STEWARD'S. STEWARD'S is the widely spreading fuel station in Uganda today. Those are ajja kusobola okuba representing bulungi nnyo mu bifo byonna byatugenzeemu bendera nga waliwo STEWARD'S.
Yeah, I'll be your take on the...
Of course, ekyo kirungi nnyo era kyetulina ogamba nti tulabye ebbanga ddene Kirumira nga atambuza brand eyo STEWARD'S. We tutunula mu petrol stations eziri mu Uganda kati STEWARD'S is among one of the petroleum companies that is spreading a very huge network. Era Kirumira okubeera brand ambassador waabwe kirungi nnyo era his continued performance in the championship Chibatwala, the STEWARD'S brand across the country and across East Africa waba fulumye muko. So kirungi nnyo motorsport yo nga Aaron wagambye communication about the benefit of motorsport and how it can push your brand has been pushed out in the market and the response from the private sector mu okuteeka mu sente mu sport yaffe weekiri. So I only wish Kirumira the best of luck in that brand ambassadorship and hope that his request for further support okuva mu STEWARD'S is also taken and encouraging STEWARD'S to come. Kubanga motorsport in Uganda has been dominated by particular brands and the involvement of other brands is also not something bad for us. We would be very much interested in seeing STEWARD'S come aboard. So we wish Kirumira the best of luck and looking forward to his next appearance in the ambassadorship, which means that whenever we see Kirumira, we see the ability of STEWARD'S. So as a brand as STEWARD'S, it is good for us to see Kirumira in his full flight. They have picked a good two-wheel drive driver who is very fast, we all know that, and very skilled. So we wish them the best. We look forward to the next event as the brand ambassador for STEWARD'S.
All right, we definitely bring up to speed in case any person in motorsport lands the deal because Twali were live and we did cover that. No wonder so the quantity to Saku, but congrats to Eddie and big up to the brand itself. And we can only wish him the best because on the two-wheel drive championship he's surely eyeing for it this year. Agament is going to go out. Otherwise, a guy Pasua who is 1, 2 was 1, 3, 4. You have Dr. Anselo Kazo, JB Musisina Ovajeta Aga, and the host of crews. Mokalo, Semambo, Nabo, they're all vying for the same. So we can only watch the space and see, but of course, a good step in the right direction. About the FUFA TV, Dr. Daniel Bogere, present wa MPU, Nenga Wayo, his remarks, and about the unveiling of as a brand ambassador. Kale, away from Eddie from being unveiled as a brand ambassador for STEWARD'S into 21 World Cup, the Pearl of Africa Rally. Ayakomekerezebwa weekend yeri yaina issues to do with the final classifications, and as per today, in the course of last week, twalaba ku letters is calling up for a review meeting which has taken place today, and I can comfortably tell you to review ade unaku lwalero wali ku chopa ky'omunya Lugogo, chaired by the chairman STEWARD'S Mkulu Fred Obo, kubaddeko mu Kurisitu Mayanja who was the FME steward, then Mchala Bagaya abadde secretary of the STEWARD'S, and the host of course COCs nabe omukulu Umaru Mayanja DVP Deputy Vice President motor rallying, Joshua Mayanja, Omar Manja was the CEO of that event, and also of competitors, Anthony Mugambwa, Aaron Samba, Job Bukwa, Albert Ofong, David Mwesigwa, Alvin Luyimbazi as well, Babadeo, Kubanti, Babirapa, because it was made open. But there are three things. There are a review and a issues are settled. The first one was the petition by the Vice President, Deputy Vice President Motorali, Mkulu Joshua Mayanja. Was Aaron Jatsomirago that letter that was authored by Mkulu Joshua Mayanja to the stewards so for the betterment of our listeners and viewers. Then what will review ya Kuria Ronald Sebuguzi, ne Anthony Mugamba ka number 3. Bonga bagamba nti bagala penalties eza cruise ezatandika ina restart in that rally. Penalties are reflected on the final classifications nga bagala zitekebweko. Then the last petition yali kuya, no, that's not the order, but in fact the order yali ya Mkulu Joshua Mayanja, eyokubiri yali ya Aaron Nsamba, kuya John Constant ne Aaron Nsamba ka number 35 nga basaba kuya number 5 ya Ponsiano Rakataka ne Samuel Mugisha baberenga bawewa penalty ya delay into okuyingira Park Farm Group, then as well as ne ensonga ya assistance. Then eyokusatu, in fact that review was meant to happen on Thursday, because ne kuya Ronald Sebuguzi and Anthony Mugamba basaba that is number 3 nga bagala penalties those were included final classifications. So balabanga ba stewards bajjawe ya Thursday ne bajipushinga to Monday, which has been today. Now you can read us through that to some of Joshua Mayanja, then we pick it up from there.
To the clerk, of course, the stewards NRC 3, the CRO part of Africa Uganda Rally. Dear SARS, right of review of the NRC 3 final standings. In light of the new elements coming forward on the Executive Committee Forum with drivers, and in reference to can number 5, crew of Ponsiano Rakataka and Samuel Mugisha, this is to request you to evoke Article 65.2.3, right of view of the National Commission Rules 2024, and further reference to Article 14.1.1, Bulletin 2, in our case, FMU DVP, and take a second look at the queries regarding the said crew as had been reported by the CRO later presented to the stewards meeting. Yours sincerely, Joshua Mayanja, Deputy Vice President, FMU. In short, but we are a soma. So, Article 65.2.3, yo a gambetia, right of review. Refer to Article 14, FIA International Sporting Code. For all provisions not included, the text of FIA International Sporting Code shall be taken into consideration. 65.2.3b. The period during which a petition for review may be brought expires 14 calendar days after 96 hours from the end of the competition concerned, except in circumstances where the stewards consider compliance with this 96 hours deadline would be impossible, in which case the stewards may extend the deadline by no more than 24 hours. That's
okay,
Article 65.2.3.
Kale katusoke katukole ku nsimbe tukomawo tunyonyere kye kiri mu article because it's been they broadly discussed in the review, and like I said in my preamble, she's got dominating program on kuno. Let's go for a short commercial break tukomawo to review to take on article because that article has had a trickle down effect on the part of Africa Rally results because the decisions of stewards will be basobola okubanga bazifulumira. Tunagenda ovaano nga tuba bringing the up to speed. Katukomewo. Back from that short commercial break. It's a Podium Show every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight as we preview and review and even the world of motor sport to live ku Fufa TV as well as ne ku 102.1 Fufa Farmer the radio mizanyo mugwanga at Uganda. Fufa TV the home of Ugandan sport. Nze kesh nina Aaron ne Albert mwenye kwa mtula wanaje msinzi kwa mtula laba on this 20th of May 2024. Prior to that break where we could review the tagline says Pearl of Africa Rally results reviewed, and surely you're digesting that in today's program. But the brief background review is it here, and prior to that break, we submitted the article 65.2.3 of the national competition rules. That's what never displaying it. Then we tujitapute. Is that the right word? Tujitapute. I would interpret. Right. Of review, Article 65.2.3, and I so may refer to Article 14 of the FIS International Sporting Code. For all provisions not included, the text of FIA International Sporting Code shall be taken into consideration. So, says each time we know article or Ogenda Bugenzi International Sporting Code. I don't know about Article 14. Then 65.2.3b, the period within which a period for review may be brought expires 14 calendar days after 96 hours from the end of competition concerned. So the period within which a review may be brought expires 14 calendar days after 96 hours from the end of competition concerned. Chibachitegeza chi Aaron.
Awo kankubyemu bbiri bwerere kubanga kasone kagamba 14 days after 96.
Literally the way interpreted in chitegeza nti ina kasa results zifuluma. Oyina 96 hours esawa kyenda mu mukaaga okuva results zifulumye. Bwe zifuluma ku saawa 10 eza Sunday. Oyina esawa kyenda mu mukaaga okuva ezifulumye. Then oyina ennaku endala na 14. In other words, the way I interpret it, you have 18 days because 96 hours is 4 days.
4 days.
So you have 18 days. We'll talk about regional rules. Zigamba 96 hours. Period. Yes. From the time results was concluded. I don't know about, would you interpret it differently?
Kati otuba tusoma rule eyo.
Sio tulina wa sporting commission.
Tulina okutunula.
Mu kifo twateredde.
Tulina okutunula.
Asoka clearing kwali taliko. Oli toli
sporting commission.
Wendi.
Tuli mu kintu.
Amazedde. Bida tubona abona interpretation. So you have the floor.
I have the floor. Kakati nze njagala kugamba ku regulation eyo. Ekugamba in 96 hours after the event has ended, you have 96 hours to submit your request for a review. All right? And in 14 calendar days after that, that subject must be discussed and finished. That is my understanding. Kakati.
Albert.
The period during which a petition for review may be brought expires 14 calendar days after 96 hours.
So
14 calendar days after 96 hours.
We are going through the rule.
Yes.
Kati rule ina parts zayo.
Yes.
Kati first part igamba kiddamu kisome. It says the period during which a petition for review may be brought expires 14 calendar days after 96 hours from the end of the competition concerned.
Brought expires. Ojireta
expires 14 days, 14 calendar days after 96 hours from the end of the competition concerned. If a competition takes place and comes to a conclusion, 96 hours after that, there are 14 days in which you can make your request.
So 96 hours, research yo.
Then you have 14 days.
14 days to make your request.
So those are 18 days.
18 days.
Then let's go to the next phase.
Okay.
Next phase of the exam. It says what? Except in circumstances where the stewards consider compliance with the 96 hours deadline would be impossible, in which case the stewards may extend the deadline by no more than 24 hours. Check it. But the 96 hours can be extended by another 24 hours. So wobogamba nti 96 hours can be extended by 24 hours. It means 96 hours is a deadline. Okay? So if the stewards believe 96 hours is not enough, they extend another 24 hours for you to come in and
do
your
submit
slides
your
or
review.
whatever and submit your discussion.
Okay.
And then in those 14-day period, the issue should be either addressed or finished or whatever.
Okay.
So
then
what we need to understand, is at the background yange ya communication jengenda kola kati is based on the evolvement of this rule. Kati eno regulation eno ebera, when you read the international sporting code or the regional code, it restricts it to 96 hours.
Yes.
Jimenjalo okutandika kuona.
Article 14. Egamba ki?
14.1.1. If in competition forming part of an FIA championship, cup, trophy, challenge or series, or of an international series, a significant and relevant new element is discovered, which was unavailable to the parties seeking the review at the time of the decision concerned. The stewards who have given a ruling or failing this, those designated by FIA may decide to re-examine their decision following a petition to review by either one of the parties concerned or a party that is directly affected by the decision handed down or by the FIA. The stewards must meet in person or by other means on the date agreed amongst themselves as summoning the party or parties concerned to hear any relevant explanations and to judge the light of the facts of elements brought before them. Teyogera ku time. See, I don't see the time. The period during which a petition for review may be brought expires after 96 hours from the end of the competition concerned, except in circumstances where the stewards consider that compliance with the 96 hours deadline would be impossible, in which case the stewards may extend this deadline by no more than 24 hours. I think that's what the Albi was trying to explain.
So, Kakati, when you look at that code, that international code,
the period,
it restricts the appeal time, the review time to 96 hours. And within those 96 hours, webalaba nti tosobola kukola appeal eyo for some reasons bakuwa another 24 hours.
Yes.
That is the international sporting code.
code.
Kati wane Uganda, the rule in Uganda gives you 96 plus 14 days. So the addition from the Ugandan from the Ugandan perspective is the extra 14 days.
14 days.
Yeah. So when you are looking at that document, the regulation is the origin of a regulation comes from regulation etandikira ku level ki tandika ku sisi. Whenever mu sisi nejja mu sporting commission. Whenever mu sporting commission nejja actually regulation is okutandikira ku competitor. Najitwala mu sisi nejja mu sporting commission, whenever mu sporting commission nekomawo mu symposium. Within the symposium fena tuba tu owning a regulation. Abagitegese sporting commission ba competitor wevao negena mu management executive
for
committee.
ratification.
Executive committee weba ratifying kiba kitegeza the entire motorsport has owned that regulation. So kakati chetuba tutunula mu one is as we go into the implementation of these regulations tulina okubanga tutunulamu ne tulaba is our implementation being affected by the way the regulation sounds. Kubanga regulation ku international ekuwa 96 hours to put in
your appeal, your review request,
and 24 hours extra in case it does not come in. Hours gives you a little bit more time. Kati in the light of the little bit more time, ebe tegezanti opportunity is opened wider for people to make
a review.
And that of course eberawo as a result of us still learning the process nga buli omu aba asobola okufuna opportunity so that we can improve on ourselves. Naye nga wetuba tutambudde maaso, I think that 14-day window will go because we should be up to speed nti wetubeera mu situation ngeeyo gwayagala kukola appeal you should be able to review you should be able to make your decision quick
enough
and sort it out because 14 days pali
yagwa nga 12
ugatako 14 days
obogenze
mu 26 olwaliro meka
20th
kati ku 25th nsobola okukomawo nekirala according to that rule
25th ndio komawo ne review endala netugenda mu kirala ate era 14 days endala
yeah so in the spirit of the regulation nga bagikozesa n'abagiimplementinga ekyo kyetaaga kitunulamu to understand about it and see whether it fits in bringing closure to everything.
Then article number 65.2.3c eyogera ku what embeds the review. Era abadde mu the review sitting leero mukulu babadde aki-emphasizing nnyo ng'agamba nti balina issues nnyo ezodetermininga mu review 1
before a review is accepted
whether the petition is admissible,
yes,
ekyokubiri whether there is a proper foundation for the petition, ekyokusatu that is in case there was an infringement on the rule, ekyokusatu ne bawuliriza petition. Then ekyokuna ne bakola decision. So article 65.2.3c yeyogera ku kweno element. Achoka nalaba, have you met the
required
are you within the parameters or in the time?
Is it admissible?
Chiri protest. Is it within the 30? Because no zecha kuya sebuguzine Anthony Murray Hoima protest ya baji
throwing out kubanga bagamba nti out of time.
Yali out of time. So for them ne basaba review nga bagamba bagireta within the stipulated time period. So kati initially nga tebanawulira protest basoka they must first ascertain ogirese within the time frame, the 30 minutes. Now for the review it's 96 hours, then another 14 calendar days. Was it within the time frame? Yes. Then tugenda ku aspect endala kundo bajaji displaying irako eya 65.2.3c which formed the biggest part of the discussion
at the review point.
And the review point deliberations is 65.2.3 soji
65.2.3c 65.2.3c. The petition for review must be made in writing and must specify the elements under Article 14.1.1 of the International Sporting Code. It must be accompanied by a deposit, the amount of which shall be set annually by FMU. In addition, the deposit must be specified in the sporting regulations or the supplementary regulations of the competition. This deposit may only be returned if the right of review is upheld unless fairness requires otherwise.
Yeah. Now, you write the petition was specifying under the article you was 14.1.1 of the International Sporting Code.
And the 65.
Then you know kubeera accompanied by a deposit. In other words, you know sasula cent. Now on this very point, bwogenda mu appendix R.
Referring to tunonya sente zokusasula.
Sasula sente is sente teziri captured. Now there was an issue. Could you because the ASN ne ku regional rules zigamba ASN eja kusetinganga sente zino annually, right? ASN means a federation. Eja kusetinganga sente zino annually. Now we have a grey area in our rules where toyina mu sente ze batekawo settinga as per this year's national champion, this year's national competition rules etulina. So chibadde emu kulobo nacho achiwadde kondoza ruling about that. In such a situation, would you admit a protest, a review, a petition seeking for review, ngate police senders zili accompanied with, there's no deposit, atenga nemu rules toina mu sente zili set already. And on that he akulaga nti bwasome the international sporting code nakulaga ne regional zikulaga nti it must be, in fact no one in NCRS, it must be accompanied by a deposit. So chiba chiza sente zino okubeerako. So without that then okusinzira ku yekyabadde alaba taswa akuwuliriza review wetu nga teyina sente ziri, though it's a catch-22 situation nga tubaddeawo. The federation tubaddewo sente, petitioners want to pay the money. Steward agamba nze I'm bound by the rule. Then again mulimu ekya natural justice nti nze ndi willing osasula tontaddewo sente zenina sasula. I've brought my petition. Ate lwaki oba ogigoba obonga nga akuzeyo kiri, it must be accompanied by a deposit. So it's been kind of a catch-22 situation.
Nze ku lwange in terms of the regulation era bwe twabadde mu review eyo, purpose eyantute mu review was to observe the review take place and take some notes of my own personal okubeera ne education and personal involvement in a review. Ku subject eyo twasanze nga in the regulation tewabaddeyo an amount to make a deposit, and that amount is not the fault of the competitor or the person petitioning. It's also not the fault of the steward who is having a discussion about what he's supposed to accept. So it then becomes a better issue the setup of the regulation. Okay? Kati in such circumstances, tulina okufuna precedent yetu setting in around that area. Naye at the end of the day, rules zaffe zino omuntu waba agitunulako kiba kyetaga nti as a team, as the implementers of the rules or those setting up the rules and those implementing the rules, muba mwina okubanga you take notes down and find remedies to these problems for the future. Another person would say, in the event that the sporting code in Uganda is not functioning, what is the international sporting code saying? Or what does the regional sporting code say as a point of reference? For you to be able to say, wano sajirabye wano, kangene mu regional, mwambasi jirabye mu regional, kangene mu international. Chitegede. So in the review, I was impressed with Mr. Bo's resolution, or engeri gyakoze ki gye solving the issue kubanga yarabye nti the DVP Motorsports request to review also covered the entities or covered the matters that were being addressed by a particular crew in his request for a review, therefore suggesting that the issue be addressed from that perspective. Okuva ku eno issue ya deposit. Nayenga na stating anti-FMU in regards to what should be deposited and what figure should go back and cross-check and make sure that that is ekyo kibeera kiri sorted. Omuntu omu ayinza okubeerawo n'abuuza naye gwe ayogera toli ku group eyo erina okubanga ekola ku bintu ebyo. That is a discussion for another day, not for today. I beg to leave that aside.
Okay, so as a result, there are two things. There are a number of things that will have. One, I think that there needs to be, when there needs to is the period within which Omuntu Waleteramu review, because it talks about 96 hours and 14 calendar days. Then naturally, a deposit fee, which will be set annually by the federation, because deposit fees that national competition rules are fair. Tunama ya protest mtwala 25, then tunamna ya appeal, the 1 million shillings. Then maybe in a time frame yaba stewards okuwuliriza, because it doesn't give, the rule does not give the time frame within which the stewards balina okuwa response from a review petition. Teina, unlike the National Court of Appeal, balina 30 days, and you have 30 days from the time you file your appeal okubanga bagiwulidde. So going forward, DVP abaddewo, so maybe going forward so out of that, decisions zikoleddwa ero ne jakwesha mu decisions ezo zikoleddwa ebbiri, then ne results eziri final kuba ndabye nazo zifulumya at 17 hours as a part of Africa Rally national without the ARC, because what is really affected by this.
Okay. Decisions ezikoleddwa zibadde bbiri nga decision esooka decision 1 document 1 20th May 2024 at 18 hours 30 minutes. The stewards, having received a petition from the DVP Motorsport, summoned the crew of car number 5 who did not show up for the review hearing. The stewards heard from the COC who had received additional new information and from other witnesses, and having considered the matter, determined as follows. Crew number 5, position Dr. Kansaman Mugisha, time 18:30. Offense, car number 5 was told. Infringement, alleged breach of Article 34.1.2 of the FMU National Commission Rules 2024. Decision, exclusion from the final classification of Power of Africa Uganda Rally 2024, and results be readjusted accordingly. Yours, Freddy Kochengo Bo, ASN Chairman of Stewards, and then Kistu Mayanja, FMU Steward and Observer. That was decision number 1.
For the betterment of our listeners and viewers.
Eri abawuliriza abaffe bonna okusalawo okusoose Stewards review ebaddeko leero bagamba mu kubeerawo kwa okuyita review eno bayita DVP yawandiika nga ayagala ba reviewing rally results for crew number 5 ya Samuel Mugisha ne Ponsiano Lwakutaka. Era oluvannyuma lwa okuwuliriza crew tesobodde kujja, naye oluvannyuma lw'okuwuliriza COC wa event yafuna amawulire oba ebintu ebipya ebikwatagana ne crew eyo. Decision esaliddwawo leero nga 2 ogwokutaano 2024 ku ssaawa 12:30 nti crew number 5 ya Ponsiano Lwakutaka ne Samuel Mugisha ejibwe ku final results is a part of Africa Uganda Rally 2024.
Kale, we're going for a short commercial break. Wetukomawo tuyiteko mu decision eyokubiri, zibadde decisions 2, then tuyiteko ne mu final results. The results zibadde adjusted as a result of today's review. Wetukomewo. Back from that short commercial break, it's always burning up in here, even during the break, about reviews and addendums and everything. Now, I've attended a number of moots. Moots are courts. Ziba courts more so. The ones I've attended, ziba abana abali mu law schools, abali into their final year. They get a case. They have defendants, and you have the side. You have respondents on this side, and you know the arguments are. Yeah, we're having a good breed of lawyers coming out of this law school, out of this school or university, whatever it is. Kati, neshwadwali mu review. She doesn't. People try to follow rules to the dot because the hearing was open. People were there by as early as 2:30. Others were even dressed to kill. They come representing the Constant Racing team. Office yeah, I've come to be part of this. But all in all, like Mr. Bo was saying and everyone there, this just for the betterment of of the sport. Albi, Aaron, twaga decision eyokubiri.
Decision eyokubiri. Decision number 2. Read out or given out at 19 hours on the same date of 20th May 2024. The stewards, having received a petition from crew number 3 and having summoned crews of cruise number 34, 26, 84, 79, 30, 100, 42 and 11, who did not show up for the review hearing, save for the crew of 100. The stewards have heard from COC and other witnesses and having considered the matter, determined the following. Crew number 3, Ronald Sebuzi Anthony Mugamba, time 19 hours. Offense, improper application of time penalties, infringement, due time penalties under Article 54 and its subsection of the FMU National Competition Rules 2024 were not properly applied to cars number 34, 26, 84, 79, 30, 100, 42 and 11. The review was not admitted. The petition did not meet the criteria as laid down in Article 65.2.3c, and no significant and irrelevant new element was availed to the stewards to justify a review. Yours faithfully, Frederick Ochengobo, SN Chairman of Stewards, and Kisitu Mayanja, FMU Observer and Steward. Obufunze. Oluvanyuma lwa crew number 3 ya Ronald Sebuguzi ne Anthony Mugambo okusaayo okwemulugunya kwayo ku motoka namba 32684 3 namba 10 42 namba 11 bonna be yayita okujja okubeerawo mu hearing eno naye okujjako omu yekka ye yazze namba 10. Stewards na bawulidde okuva wa COC ne witnesses abalala babaddewo era ne basala bati the offense ya improper application of time penalties ku motoka ezo basing on Article 54 ku motoka namba 32684 3 10 42 review tebagikiriza olw'ensonga nti crew teyatuukiriza bulombolombo bweyina kuyitamu okuba okuwulirwa aba stewards. So ate era n'ensonga endala nti teyafunye element mpya oba kintu kipya ekitamanyikibwawo before kubanga kitunulwamu leero okubanga kikyusa, so review ne bagigoba. Era results ziba upheld nga bwe zaabadde nga tekuli gundi.
Kakati nga tuddayo nga tumaliriza ku nsonga eyo, ekikulu kiri nti number 1, ate kino njagala kyogera ate ndoza nakyogerako, it is the right of every competitor to protest. Si nsongayo si kibi ogezako kulungamya munno, zitukulunga okutereza munno okubeera competitor mulungi. Ekyokubiri, woba osazeewo nga competitor nti ogenda kukola ekintu ekikyamu n'obanga bakufunye ng'okoze ekintu ekikyamu, kirungi nnyo 1 okusooka kwejjamu kikuyamba.
Waliwo abagamba tebasobola kwejjamu.
Woba tosobodde kwejjamu olina okubanga oli ready okufuna protest ng'evaamu muntu omulala olw'okubanga ye akulabye ate ye oba omu, I don't know what to use in Uganda, but you are depriving him of his actual right of the position that he was supposed to get, and that is very wrong. So but driver abaliwo, it is your right to protest. Era woba to protesting, you're relinquishing your right, which is very wrong. So buli muntu alina okuprotesting, era weba kuprotestingako baba bagezako kutereeza, and it helps you to become a better competitor. Ekyokusatu, ekyokubiri kyenjagagwa nayagadde nnyo open hearing. Open hearing zino ze tulina kati ssaawa zino, engeri federation yaffe etambula, it is very important to have open hearings, kubanga waliyo hearings ezibeera mu closed door ne ziba nga tezifuna justice, abantu tebafuna justice, era oli nabanga asubmitize ekintu 8 months later n'afunamu hearing nebeerawo, then the result disappears and nobody sees it. So if we had an open hearing, chiba chikakata kwoli akoze hearing okufulumya results era results zino hearing yabadde okusamu sameka
sawa 12 ne sawa emu
era we batuyitidde meeting yabadde 3 pm results zafulumye, the results of the hearing are out kubanga abantu babaddewo era nga kikakatoli okufuluma result nga we yakigambe. In a closed room probably will not get that result. So Federation of Yagala kutambula for transparency purposes now bazigulewo tubeeremu omwo decisions zibiri making ate abantu bafune obwenkanya mangu. It rests the case. So that people go home happy.
So as a result of that, tufunye the final classifications. The results were adjusted. Aaron, to use common results. I'll be at work to preview our first cutting championship event and we're out of here.
Cutting results was the final overall classification of Pearl of Africa Uganda Rally. Crew of Just Mangat.
For the
national.
Yes.
Crew of Just Mangat ne Roland Magat. Bakoze dachika sawe mu dachika na mukaga na seconds 5 munya yabokubiri ba Ronald Sebuguzi ne Anthony Mugambwa bakoze sawa 2 ne seconds 4 abokusatu ye John Costa Kalumna ne Aaron Nsamba nga bakoze esawa 2 ne dachika 5 seconds 8 abokuna ye Michael Junior Mukula ne Edward Chiyinji bakoze sawa 2 dachika mukaga ne seconds 3 munya abokutano Abbas Sebunya ne Ishama Yusuf bakoze sawa 2 dakika 10 seconds 2 mukaga abomukaga Jonas Matayo Kansime ne Ronald Bukenya bakoze sawa 2 dakika 10 ne seconds 3 abomusanvu Busurwa Fred Kitaka ne Miodo Chibuka bakoze sawa 2 dakika 13 ne seconds 3 abomunana Kukuranjit Singh ne Siraj Chambadde bakoze sawa 2 dakika 13 ne seconds 4 abomwenda Dr. Mukasa Mustafa ne Mwambazi Lawrence bakoze sawa 2 dakika 17 ne seconds 7 abe 10 Peter Kalule ne Mwesugwa David bakoze sawa 2 dakika 2 abo 11 Ibrahim Rubega Pasua ne Mustafa Kanakulia bakoze sawa 2 dakika 2 abe 12 Rashid Makumbi ne Henry Kibarama bakoze sawa 2 dakika 3 ne seconds 16 abe 13 Abbas Mainja Sebaiga ne Geoffrey Seroga bakoze sawa 2 dakika 3 ne seconds 5 abe 14 ye Francis Omo ne James Emaru bakoze sawa 2 dakika 3 ne seconds 16 abe 15 ye Anwar Sadat ne Gomba ne Zubeda Abdala bakoze esawa 2 dakika 4 ne seconds 3 16 ye Samuel Watendwa ne Ruimbaz Alvin bakoze sawa 2 dakika 5 ne seconds 4 17 Chirumirwa Edward ne Nabwami Shakira abakamalo okufuna sponsorship bakoze sawa 3 dakika 15 ne seconds 5 abe 18 Kaira Faizo ne Kamoga Hakim bakoze sawa 3 dakika 2 ne seconds 5 ne abe 19 Nasa Mtebi ne Steven Bunya bakoze sawa 3 ne dakika 4
So there's a results after the adjustment. Even them review. Wavudde okuremyuka ya Ponsiano Rakataka ne Samuel Mugisha abadde excluded from the rally. Kale, we watch in case of any other developments, that and more. We'll keep you posted on Fufa TV. Neku 102.1 Fufa Famandoza. In the course of this week, we should be able to get the national championship standings. Because the next event is Erimu July, and people need to know Avaliku restarted.
Baliko kastakali. Kastaka tegeza restarted.
Kastaka tegeza results. Restart. I need to add them. What them review nga who may affected that thing.
Nga singo ku defending.
Well, defend.
Singo ku defending ama jije. Akure nyizi zanyi.
So ku jam. Kulusha badegeza okumugera. Oye Mohamed Boch tegedde. Albi twina first cutting championship this weekend.
Okay, twina cutting event ya Iluku National Cutting Championship ya 2024. Event egenda kubeera ku Miraki racetrack eyo gye mulabaawo ku TV ku 25th of May ye Saturday. Tusuubira okutandika ebintu ebyo ku ssaawa 2 ez'akumakya and then tukaminge kwe close ku ssaawa nga 10. Buli competitor ng'olina competition license ya FMU okkirizibwa okujja n'ojoininga competition eno. Entry fees zaffe ziri about 250,000 naye nga engeri gye tukozesa track eyo ekuwa track, ekuwa cut gy'okozesa, ekuwa mafuta g'okozesa, ekuwa uniform gy'okozesa ne helmet. Ezo entry woba oyagala kujja no participating ku event eyo. Wemba mujjukidde twali tutaddewo announcement ya nti event egenda kubeera e Lubowa naye Lubowa racetrack eyo wabaddeyo enteesagana ne nannyini n'omuntu omulala nga ayagala okufuna ekifo ekyo. So netubanga tetumanyi outcome ya transaction eyo ne batugamba ekifo tuyinza okuba nga tugitunze by that date. So mwandibadde mukola ki munoonya kifo kirala. So that is why twamuvinze Emiraki era transaction eri ku Lubowa webewedde era tujja kuddayo twogere ne omuntu omupya era nga tusuubira batugambye nti naye ayagala kusigala mu business ya cutting. So tujja kuddayo twogere naye tulabe tusobola kuteesagana naye okufuna event eyo. Event yaffe egenda kubanga ekwata ku age groups zonna. We twabadde ne launch twabadde ne groups ez'abaana the young generation ne tuba ne group ey'abakati between like say 12 up to 22. Then wabaddeyo race emu eyasanyusiza abantu bangi ey'aba seniors era tu expecting nga tulina race eyo ey'aba seniors. Mu this time round bagenda giyita the president race. President wa club, it's the race where feba seniors, the older generation, abasuse mu certain age group tusobole okugenda naffe ku track and try to set some good times.
Yebanga vets mu MX.
Ebanga vets mu MX. Cutting mu Uganda in terms of competition ku national championship wano we tutandikidde. So wemma mutandika ebintu mugezaako nnyo okukkiriza abantu okujja. So regulation gye twa discussinzeko ne DVP Motorsport ne egezaako nnyo okuinvitinga buli omu okujja. Discipline nga yo it is quite interesting. Eri ku Miraki racetrack balina timing system yaabwe. Bw'oba otuuna omusajja alina flag awo waliyo ekyuma eri wansi wali timing system yaabwe eri automated era osobola okufiiringa time yo nebeera mu history and osobola okugenda n'okukola practice until you get a good time. Practice sessions are open for the Miraki track now. Era track eri open to competitors to go and try out the track until the 24th of May before race day. Race day to expecting sawa 2 ez'akumakya to about between 7 and 8 to be doing our registration of competitors. Our entries opened already and they close on Wednesday, which is 2 days from now. But since the event is being run at the first time, we are also allowing for what we call day licenses. You can come and join the event on that day, and we register you to join the club or to subscribe for a license, and you participate in the osobola okwetaba mu event eyo. National calendar this year enamu events 3. This is going to be the first one at Miraki. The next one was scheduled to be at Miraki, and the third one is scheduled to be either in Busika or in Luwa, based on the circumstances that we have been faced with as a result of change of ownership on one of the venues. Tusubira, and we invite everybody to come and join us on this event. We have Jubilee Assurance as our sponsor for this event, along with Miraki, and we have some support from some of the companies you see on the screen there. And we hope that we should have a successful event and look forward to the next one. Fortunately, also in karting, there are also opportunities for protests and also opportunities for reviews.
Okay.
But hopefully, we shall run an event which will conclude without any of the above taking place. So we invite you on the 25th. Osobola kujja kulaba. Entrance is free. We do not charge entrance to the venue, so you can come and watch. The venue itself is Bugolobi after Silver Springs on your right, and we'll be there from 7 in the morning on Saturday until 4 in the evening, after which we will enjoy what Miraki Racetrack has to offer.
And there's even the F1 race in Monaco.
Yeah, there's F1
so
race
it will coincide with, along with definitely be out there to like. They're developing the regulation. Is it where you got?
Yeah, the regulation is in conversation at the level at which it is now. It is with the DVP, expecting for it to come back to us. We have submitted supplementary regs for the event in conjunction with the DVP, and we hope by race day we should have this matter sorted out.
Kali, weekend the first event, the Formula 1, the karting championship, upon us, by launching the calendar and the championship on the 21st of April. We footage for TV, and we'll definitely be out there this weekend on Sunday, the 25th to.
25th is Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, to watch the first round of the karting championship. Then, of course, Sunday, we will have the F1 again. Monaco. Okay, time for feedback. Jabi Musisi, ina nukumulirwa message. Nayagamanti. Congrats to Mr. Mugere, John Consta, and Aaron Samba for a podium finish. Unana baade bagala jisuza chifo. Inaje bisani jisome na jisomi. Kale, International Sporting Code gives 96 hours because stewards come from different countries, so they made it as short as possible because the technology it gives enough time for teams to request for the review. Then nampeleza the final results, Aaron Zasome, nama nampeleza the classification for the premier class. Just Magat, Ronald Sebuguzi Mchokubiri, Peter Kauli Mchokusatu, Fred Buswa Chitaka Mchokuna, Ibrahim Lwega Paswa Mchokutanu na Samutevi Mchomukaga, then Samuel Watendwa Mchomusamvu. The premier class, as you know, the review has affected the premier class standings or results. Kali, debi wabali kwecho. Then Najef Agamanti, please tell Albi, please Albi take us through the crash of Senna, because for those who did not know, it was drivers taking, as the Nabuza Starbucks got any oil as well as in the world where if not, then it's a dead horse. Okay. Oyo Jeff, those are issue ya Senna twajogeddeko about him crashing in Imola in a driver error, yes, mu Italy. It wasn't down to the track, it was down to driver error. Then Ninano Philbert agamba, guys, thanks for the show. Then Chigonga agamba, let's hope more sponsors sponsors in the new administration let the leadership abstain from internal bickerings. Or Chigongo. Okay, Chigongo. Njirabe message. Then Yana Gamba, thanks for the show. Good enlightenment about the rules. Keep it up, because by the time we join the sport, we should be well versed with them. Okay. Yeah, and thanks for the appreciation. Then Bedwa Chirumi Mayweather, thanks for the show. Yes, Eddie Kongs. Simba Rale team Kwetulim, and many more. Our time is fast spent. You have a minute out of here. What else about Tonto Mecha review? Na ye. Tonto Mecha review nedda. Aaron, your parting shots?
Bingi betuyize mu review. Ate era ndowooza njagala kubiriza nnyo bakompetita bannange. Tino baba tuyise mu bintu nga bino. kirungi kiba nga albi bwagambye tugenda tandika kukola nga open review bingi bye tuyigayo oyinza okuba nga ogenda kuttayo eddakiika essaawa 2-3
ndabe ne Byron Dugomoka abaddewo
Byron Dugomoka
nawa ne scenario ye ya 2022
naye byoyiga is immeasurable kubanga bijja tuyamba gira babijja kuyamba samwe ndoza kyekubiza abavuzi bannange nti bwe mba mufunye twatufunye ofanga zino ngabe wetucraving ennyo kubeera mu symposium era ne mutajja naye mugezeeko kuteekamu obudde mujje mu bintu nga bino tuyiga bingi nnyo era bijja tuyamba nnyo mu kutwala omuzannyo guno mu maaso ddala mu ngeri y'amateeka negakolamu congratulatinga bonna abasobodde okujja mu review eno newayo ensonga zammwe eziwuliddwa nezitawuliddwa oba nezitwaliddwa munamba bayozaayoza nti wetu omuzannyo gulina okugendamu naye
oliko podium kati ogenda kuzaayo biri
agenda kuzaayo sigenda kuzaayo byonna kubanga ya division 1 byange
ozaayo
genda kuzaayo kya overall kyokka.
Overall is 4th?
I was 4th, so I returned the 4th and picked my 3rd.
What will the win is that? I'll be your parting shots.
Njagala first of all okwebaza abakulu abataddewo review eyo DVP Mwami Stewards Stewards okubanga it is an open one. It is very important for transparency mu situation gye tulimu mu Uganda kati for things to be open. Ekyokubiri, a competitor has a right to protest against you, and when a competitor protests against you, it's not war. He's only seeking his right. So ekyo tulina okikiriza. Regulation is a responsibility of all of us. Regulation is created by all of us. The process regulation etandika ku driver negenda mu competitions committee Nigeria Sporting Commission never ratified by the presidents of the federation. So regulation yafefena, and we must agree to run by regulation. Yetuwachi transparency nobukakamu n'okunyumirwa omuzannyo kubanga regulation yetekawo embeera etasosola mu bantu. So wemba nsobiddwa nina okufuluma.
Regulation ye equalizer.
It's an equalizer. And if we all follow it, it will make us enjoy the sport and stop fighting with each other. So I wish you the best of luck in the next event. Motorsport is one important thing. Kino nacho kijja kuddamu mu event eddamu. That's just the way it works. So we now know how to deal with it.
Okay. Those who follow Professor Paul Lumumba, Gundi's teachings that nti education ye equalizer. In
all aspects of life.
Naye fabali nnyo mu sport naffe tugamba sport too is an equalizer because from ate of all the rules and regulations are equalizer. So for the betterment of the sport. That's all we've had. We definitely get back next week. This weekend activities as video. We have the first round of the karting championship. Waliku Miracle Racetracks 25th, which will be Saturday. About from 10 a.m. Then up to in the evening. Then of course next Sunday F1 again on Monaco. We'll definitely get back. Of course over the weekend we had the Enduro, which was the second round. Our sodo kubirayo. Marco Chairman and congrats to all winners. Kalimadekesh Aaron Albert, we out of here.